Hey, Adam, guess what?
What is that, Tim?
Chris Jericho wants to change the universe.
Ooh, hashtag shots fired. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of As the Buckle Turns. I'm Adam.
I'm Tim.
And luckily you didn't decide to eat this time. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Once again, right away, go ahead and thumbs up just because you've already liked what we're doing. Subscribe to the channel and join the notification squad. That way you can join in all the fun with the 01 podcast group. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this week we are talking about the news and further rumors that are now sprouting up and all the awesomeness that is around all elite wrestling and how they're going to change the world. Or in the words of Chris Jericho, change the universe. That rally was awesome. So yes, they had a rally in Jacksonville on the 8th, on Tuesday.
Yep.
And
just before SmackDown Live was going to be airing from the studio across the street from them.
Yeah, don't the cons kind of own that too?
Yeah, I think so. So, which was kind of funny because, yeah. And to be clear, though, they didn't do that just because SmackDown was there. It was because this was as soon as they could hold the rally was the reason why they did it.
Yeah.
It just so happened it worked out that SmackDown was going to be across the road the next that same day.
Sometimes serendipity is a wonderful thing. But yeah, they had it was about a 1 hour rally. I don't know about you, but for the audience as well. Did you notice that every time they did a far camera angle, it only looked like there were probably about 100, maybe 150 people there?
Kind of. But I saw not YouTube, I think it was a Twitter video or something like that showed the long lines from Wrestling Inc. to get into the rally. So there was more than 100 people there.
Oh yeah. It was just, they were only showing the crowd at a further angle, like early on.
Yeah.
At the same time, it looked like they had the viewing area was a lot wider than you would expect it to be.
I want to comment on the jackass who was waving his Bullet Club flag right in the camera shot.
Did you catch that someone from security or event staff came over and like tapped him on the shoulder and was like, "Dude, that's covering the camera."
Yeah, like I noticed exactly when he dropped it and pulled it down. And I was like, someone
all of it
talked
was very
to him.
polite.
Yeah.
Like it really was. Like the person leaned forward and was just like tapped him on the shoulder. It was just like, yeah, you're covering, the main camera. And it's just like, oh, okay, cool, and he just brought it right down.
Yeah, but my personal thing is, if when you're up like there and you know there's cameras behind you, you should be keeping track of that yourself.
Yes.
So you shouldn't have someone come talk to you, because all he had to do was step off to the left about a foot and a half. And he would have been fine.
I know.
So,
that
annoyed me a little bit. But there was no scene or anything when he brought it down, which is good.
Unlike you hear about things where it's like, security asked me to remove this at a WWE event. Security asked us to remove these signs and then tore them up in front of us. Mm-hmm. Not just don't put them up again. Just we're going to take these and tear them up in front of you.
Yeah. Our hard work that we put into them.
Yeah.
You're like, no. Yeah. That's how you lose fans. People stop coming to your live events, Vince.
Exactly. But yeah, the big thing, so there were, 1, 2, 3, 4 personnel, five 5 personnel or wrestlers that announced that they were part of All Elite going on that happened at the rally.
Yes. The first people who came out were Frankie Kazarian,
Yep.
Scorpio
that was-
Sky, and Christopher Daniels.
You knew that SCU was going to be part of AEW.
Oh, yeah. So,
I mean, all you had to do was kind of follow being the Elite for the past year, and they've had a very big part of that.
yeah.
Pretty much everyone that I've seen that have been kind of a regular on being the Elite, I have a feeling that at some point in the near future, they're all going to be coming over.
Except for poor Marty Squirrel.
Oh,
He doesn't
poor
know what
dude.
AEW is.
He
He doesn't know what this is.
It didn't work out for him. He still has, another year on his New Japan contract?
It's Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor, yep.
Um,
In association with New Japan.
I don't know how long it is, but it's with Ring of Honor.
Yeah, it's basically another year. I think it's
So-
the end of 2019 that his contract will be up.
But dude, the guy is a genius for Twitter, because soon after the showdown between Hangman Page and Pac,
Yeah.
spoilers, he posted like, "Oh, I see you got another British friend there."
Yeah, this last episode of Being the Elite, Marty got to have his New Year's Day party.
Yeah,
I love watching that and like seeing him with Kenny, and Marty is just ripping on everyone that didn't show up. And then the camera pulls back and everyone's like, "We've been here for like an hour now. We've been standing here the entire time."
it's kind of like the spot from Deadpool 2, when he's like, "I only see you guys. Like, are there any other where are the other X-Men?" And they're right behind him, and they
Yeah.
close the door.
Slowly close the door.
And the funny thing is, the cast shot that willingly on the set of Dark Phoenix
Yeah.
for that, because they're on there and to do it because they couldn't get to the set there, but it's like, we'll film it here, and it was just like brilliant.
That's perfect. But yeah, I man, there is so much more news. Okay, so yeah, we had SCU announced that they're part of it. Amazing. I do like the fact that at one point, what was it? It was either Frank or Chris almost dropped Scorpio Sky's shoot name. They were so excited.
What's his shoot name?
It's in front of me. I could just gotta reload my phone. There we go. Scorpio Sky. Where is he? There he is. Schuler.
Oh, his full name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you ever see the video of Hangman Page signing his?
I did not see that one.
Okay, so he covers his and actually very quickly signs his name and then flips it back over. And it's funny too, because he even says, he's like, "Oops, I almost wrote the wrong name down for a second." Because he was signing with his real name, which of course you're on a contract, you do.
Yep.
And he has done a very good job of not putting his real name out there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's out there, of course, but
It's out
everyone
there.
knows him as Adam Page.
I'm looking at it on Wikipedia's All Elite Wrestling page right now. So,
But yeah, I mean, he immediately Cody signs his. Cody and Brandy are like, oh, they made a production out of their signing. I forget who it was. I know it was one of the Twitter wrestling podcasts that I follow that was like, yeah, here's the huge signing from the Youngbucks for AEW. They've signed the Youngbucks. Cody amazingly completed a contract with Cody to get him to sign with AEW. I heard that Brandy Rhodes was holding out, but the chief brand officer was able to convince her to come over.
They did a little blotch at the press conference when Cody and the Young Bucks eventually came out, because they were announced as vice presidents, and then they did the whole thing of like, in my contract.
Yeah, the bit that they did, which was kind of weird because they had been announced coming in as the
Yeah.
co-vice presidents of AEW.
But still, it was still funny. And the announcement of who they had, did Matt jump in and announce? Oh,
Oh, it
the
was Double or Nothing.
Double or Nothing's date.
Yes,
That's
May
what he-
25th at the
Yes.
MGM Grand Casino in Las Vegas.
Yep. So that's big news.
Oh, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see how that goes about.
Oh, I believe that's that. Oh yeah, Matt also announced the working deal with Oriental Wrestling Entertainment to bring
Yes.
over the Strong Hearts. It's a faction from them.
He didn't say the Strong Hearts. He said something else.
Oh yeah, he said the Good Hearts.
Oh, so just so people are aware, the MGM Grand Sports Center is
Yes.
17,157 capacity.
Nice.
So
So even if they sell 12,000 tickets, they still are outdoing All In.
yes, but more than likely, they're probably going to fill that up.
Oh, probably.
So, and yeah, so that will be interesting to see how that goes going forward. But yeah, it's not a full complete double or nothing, a complete double of what they were going for last time, but it's still a lot more than they did.
That's true.
So, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see. We did get a tease without an actual confirmation on the show of when the All Elite Championship may be decided.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Hangman Page came out and went through his whole, basically cut a good promo,
Yeah,
and he announced that Cody's had championship gold. Everyone around him has had championship gold on their belt at one point or another, and he's like, now I've got a taste for it, and I want to become the first heavyweight champion for All Elite Wrestling.
yes, and then this brought out Pac,
Yes.
aka Neville, for those people who don't know,
the angriest little Scottish bastard on the planet.
in ring gear for some reason.
Yeah. His hair was wet too, like he was ready to go in the ring.
Yeah, which is funny because it's like, does he travel around the world? Like, he's in the airport, he's in his ring gear, just ready to go.
Waiting in the doctor's office, he's in ring gear. Hair wet. He's shopping for his lunch one day in ring gear.
I did like his little thing saying like he's already a champion.
Yes. I do like the fact that he came in with that championship.
Yep. He said that after, I believe he said in his promo was at Double or Nothing, he'll be the All Elite champion.
Yeah,
So-
it kind of came down that it's going to be Page versus Pac at Double or Nothing.
Yes, that would be a good thing. Whether the championship will be on the line, who knows?
Right.
That would be a good time, I think, to crown the champion. But I also think it'd be a good time to crown all the championships they're going to have. But who knows?
True. I like the fact that Brandy came out, announced what her position with the company is as Chief Brand Officer.
Yep.
And she definitely does have the education behind her for it. Mm-hmm. That, and she's kind of, since Cody left WWE, kind of been the marketing force behind Cody.
Yeah.
So I mean, she's blown him up and the Bullet Club and the Young Bucks all through that. And now she's going to take that talent onto All Elite Wrestling. And I mean, if she can just keep, I know that the buzz is going to die off, but if she can even keep 1/10 of the current buzz, it'll be amazing.
Well, it says here on her Wikipedia page she has a master's degree in broadcast journalism
Wow.
from the University of Miami. So,
You Miami? But yeah, during her outing, a couple of people started chanting Chief Brandy Officer. And now at ProWrestlingTees.com, they don't sponsor us. Wish they would. There is now a t-shirt that's the Chief Brandy Officer.
Wrestle Talk had a good little response to that, saying the whole reason why they gave her that role was so they could make that a t-shirt.
It's a great idea.
So, but yes, she does have the actual education to be in that role for that. So, but the big thing that Brandy announced, though, which I thought was great news, was that she stated that the women will be paid equal to the men. There will be no difference between the men and women.
Nope.
And
same pay for same
experience.
What was it? What experience? Right.
So, which is good. But
Which
so that'll
means
be a
that
great thing.
the only way to make more money is by bonuses. Probably. I mean, they're doing all the shirts and the merchandise through ProWrestlingTees.com. So all I can think is that it's just going to be a bonus level thing to earn more money.
Well, they get their cut of the merchandise as always.
Well, yeah.
So that's gonna be more money. But then if like you said off mic beforehand, was like if you were the best selling T-shirt this month, we're gonna give you
throw them a bonus.
We're gonna throw you a $10,000 bonus because you had a bonus. Like you, there you go, more money, more incentive to get your name over, get out there, and make a name for yourself because we'll reward that.
Yeah, they do seem to be right away basing everything upon merit. Mm-hmm. You work hard. I mean, as they said, they're looking for the elite of the world to come to them.
Oh, one thing.
You work hard, you're a good in-ring talent, you're going to move up.
Yes. One thing that was great was Cody mentioned early on in the press conference about how wins and losses will mean something in a way that they've never met before. And I actually read an interview with Tony Khan today where he said he's always made, like, he's a statistician. He loves stats, all that stuff, and wins and losses mean something in sports. So not having a wins and loss that actually means something, then what's the point of having the match?
Right.
So so there's definitely going to be a way he's going to like make sure the wins and losses actually mean something in this sport, in this industry, which is good. I haven't seen it in a very long time done well. If they could figure out a true ranking system based on wins and losses, that would be great.
It would be great.
Because that would actually mean something. And here's an idea, just a thought. If you're actually going to state on camera for TV for your championships, must be defended every 30 days, then the champion must defend it every 30 days and actually hold to that. No special offers.
Yeah, that would. No, none of this Brock Lesnar crap where the guy can disappear for 3 months, show back up, and be like, "Oh, I'm still the champion, and now I'm going to defend it once."
Yep. And then disappear for another 3 months.
Yeah, no, we don't. Clearly, AEW is not going to be doing that.
So, what else?
Sorry, I'm trying to plug in my phone because it's about to die, and my new charger doesn't like to connect because I have a bunch of crap in the. Never mind.
One thing to know from an interview with I can't remember who I think it was the Wrestling Illustrator or Sports Illustrator. I don't know, but the Khans did an interview, and it was made clear that it is Tony Khan's father, who is the primary backer of All Elite Wrestling.
Yeah, Shahid Khan.
Yes, he's the primary backer of the company. Tony's the president, which we already knew. Not to say that Tony doesn't have some of his money personally involved, but the main backer is the dad.
Yeah.
For that, so which is good.
I mean, at the same time, this isn't going to be a TNA situation where, daddy's giving money to the kids to spend it on pro wrestling. Tony has shown that, he owns the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's doing good with sports teams, and that's how he's going to view it here.
Yeah, he knows what he's talking about. It wasn't like, what's her name? I can't even think of her name.
Dixie?
Yeah, Dixie Carter, who, his daddy who bought Impact Wrestling for her, so she had something to run, and then kept putting money into it because he didn't want to see her fail.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she failed.
You should have just let it die when you had the chance.
Eventually, he had no choice but to stop giving money because they were just kept putting money and more money into a failing business.
I know.
So, Tony knows what he's talking about. Will he be running the day-to-day operations? More than likely not. That'll probably fall on the Youngbucks and Cody to do. It will be interesting to see who will be involved in actually talent relations.
Yeah, because there's still like a bunch of people that haven't been named yet.
Yeah, so Khan will, and I'm pretty sure like there'll be like the wrestling elements of the company. Tony is probably gonna be like, "You guys, this falls to you guys. You know this industry."
Yeah. That's up to you guys because you know it better than me.
Yeah. Some of the certain decisions, maybe he has to be the one to make them, but he's not going to make a decision without conferring with them to understand the wrestling business better, because he's not going to want to be one of these owners who, like WCW, now in New Japan, who is a corporate person who doesn't really understand pro wrestling, telling people what to do.
Right.
So, which is one of the reasons why, from my understanding, is probably why they left New Japan.
It could be. It also could be that, Tony presented them with this opportunity, and they're like, all right, you know what? This is going to be the next stage. Let's go for it.
Well, I think part of it was they did All In. They wanted to continue doing other stuff. They weren't happy with the situation in New Japan at the time.
It could just be that it wasn't necessarily unhappy, but more like, we could put up with it for a year, or we could go find something else.
Yeah.
And that something else turned into All Elite. Oh man, there is so many people. Let's see, who else was announced? Joey Janela.
Yep.
And Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Yep.
Which he just came across as not necessarily like totally a heel, but like immediately he was the guy who was like, yeah, I'm going to insult you because that's what I think a good bad person is supposed to do.
Yeah. It was definitely one of those. He's 22 years old.
Okay, so yeah, he's just like, all right, I'm going to be a super jackass, and that's how I'm going to get over as a heel.
He's basically what he's doing is he's going on the old rules of how to be a heel. You insult the fans, you're an asshole, which makes sense because, if you understand the elements of the heel, even though they're old, we've seen this before, It's not going to take you very far in this wrestling industry anymore. It's not bad to start because that's a
No.
starting point where you can then evolve your character. But it's very much like he's still new to wrestling. He's still um, got a stuff to gut build. But that's the thing. Working with Cody and the Young Bucks, they'll be able to work with him and help him evolve, which is good because he had his match with Matt Cross at All Elite, All In was okay.
It was great.
It was an okay match. I mean, was it great or anything on the standards of the rest of the card? No. Was it bad? No. It was still a very good match. It was a great way to kind of warm up the crowd outside of the Battle Royal.
Right.
So I'm hoping that maybe we'll get to see Matt Cross actually sign.
That would be awesome.
Because I would love to see him do that, but he's getting older up there, so. But that would be cool. But yeah, so. Little side notes for some people, some background personnel that we now know are there. We have B.J. Whitmere, Dana Massey, and
Mrs. Matt,
and Jeff Jones are backstage personnel with no actual role that we know of what they're going to be doing just yet.
Yeah, nothing announced so far regarding that.
But we do know who's going to be a producer for All Elite Wrestling. Billy Gunn.
Yes, we do. Yeah, I know. That's crazy, man.
Because he was there, and he is officially signed on as a producer. In other words, he's going to kind of have the role of Road Dogg.
Yeah, I know.
So, just on not at the executive level, but who knows? He could have a bigger role than we actually know right now. So,
yeah, I mean, he could be the executive TV producer for the company going forward.
Yeah, it could happen. The biggest name to announce that signed with All Elite Wrestling, Britt Baker.
No. Dr. Britt Baker,
yeah, I know.
Get it right.
No, she did sign with All Elite Wrestling, and she came out after Brandy, but the actual person I was referring to is Chris Jericho.
Huge. That was like, yes, it's been rumored that Chris Jericho's coming over and all of that stuff. And I mean, it was a wild journey for him through the end of 2018 into 2019. But from what I've heard and what he said, he signed with All Elite because there's a, what was his word? Lucrative TV deal.
Offer, like, on the table. Not necessarily signed yet.
Yeah. No, not necessarily signed yet, but it's already on the table. And because of that, that's why he signed, is that they were already ahead of where he expected them to be. And he was just like, all right, you already have people lining up a TV deal. I'm going to sign with you guys.
Yeah, because I heard that, like, at the beginning of last week or this week, that there were plenty of big name, like, broadcast channels, like, interested in All Elite Wrestling.
The one that stuck out for me, and I mentioned it last week, was TNT, Time Warner, TNT, TBS. They were really looking at them.
They would not be a good channels to go with. They don't have a big audience. I mean, yes, they're everywhere, but there are better names you could sign with.
What, like USA?
What?
USA, Sports Illustrated, ESPN.
I was thinking Sci-Fi for one.
No,
but
no.
I'm not thinking they should sign with
Sci-Fi. Has moved
Sci-Fi.
away from anything
They
like that.
They can't sign. They won't sign with Sci-Fi because that's owned by NBC Universal, who has USA.
Right.
But who knows? There's apparently a bunch of big names out there interested in a TV show with them. I wouldn't be surprised if WGN America was one of them because they got some of the highest ratings they've ever gotten with just an hour.
Yeah, the problem is that's not as national as everyone thinks it
Oh, I
is.
know. I'm saying they are probably one of them. I'm not saying the biggest one. Um, I
Oh, right.
I would say don't sign with them because they're still not as big a show, but we'll have to wait and see where this turns out to be. But Jericho is officially signed. He then signed his contract later on that day after the press conference,
Right.
where he signed and he showed him signing his name and then turning it over to Tony Khan, who actually did not appear at the press conference but was there.
Surprisingly didn't.
But he then signed for Jericho's contract. You found out that Tony Khan was left-handed, and you were happy.
Yes, he is.
Um,
I have another thing in common with him.
Though you were a little depressed that he's 3 years younger than you and he's a billionaire.
Well, it's really nice that I have that whole billionaire status with him as a thing.
Yeah.
I'm just a secret billionaire. I'm not allowed to touch any of the money. It's all locked away in, these weird funds that I get when I'm 64.
If you're a secret billionaire, then you owe me a lot of money for a lot of food I brought for you.
Well, when I'm 64, I'll be able to pay it all back.
Yeah, no. Well, the interest levels are going to be
no.
way higher than by then.
Yeah, the fact that he's left-handed, I was like, all right, cool, another lefty. Let's fucking do this.
Hey, you Satanist.
But yeah, first of all, Tony's a young man. He's obviously he wants to. I don't know if he wants to get into wrestling out of the fact that that Vince McMahon is restarting the XFL, just to be that much of a prick. But if the rumors are right, he was the one that was looking at buying TNA when TNA was going through that whole maybe somebody's buying us in 2018.
It's possible because the rumor was that Impact was trying to be sold off to someone.
Someone.
And they decided not to, and that's why they went to Pursuit. Because
Right.
Because the sale didn't go through because Impact's not worth it. Even if we talked about this off mic beforehand, was that if they bought Impact, the only value that Impact brings to the table is the talent they have there. And the best thing they could do would be in the equipment, like a ring.
Well, yeah.
But is to basically go through some of the talent, the good talent, keep them, inherit them, release everyone else, and basically end the company and just start a new one from scratch anyway.
Yeah, I think it was just easier for Tony to. I mean, there was a perfect storm that happened in 2018. The Cody and the Youngbucks did All In. It piqued everyone's interest. Tony Khan was looking to get into the wrestling business. Had looked at TNA and said, "You don't have what I'm looking for. You're too much of a damaged product as it is."
There's a reason why it's going to Pursuit.
And yeah. And then, you've got Chris Jericho, who was also looking to, move to another stateside company that's not WWE or, North American company, and had also looked at TNA. And then All Elite popped up. And I'm willing to bet Tony looked at him and went, dude, I can get TV rights. You want to be back on TV? You want to be our big guy that's going to try to bring us over and have a nip at the heels of the WWE at the very least? You're going to be that guy.
Though I will say this, I just kind of find it hilarious that once again the new promotion, possibly the next big promotion to rival WWE, is another Southern promotion.
Basically, it's a Southern pro wrestling company.
When can we get a big name promotion to be in the North to challenge them head to head in their own territory?
I don't know. I don't know.
But not even that.
Maybe northeast. Dude, I've got it. I've got it. Northeast Atlantic Coast Championship Wrestling. We're gonna be moving out of the condemned slaughterhouse, and we're gonna be taking over the world.
Just so you know, Adam, that promotion, yeah, you were forced to close down. Something about not paying taxes.
I mean, we don't officially continue on as a company, but there are still underground events that happen in the exact same place at the exact same time every single week. But there's no promotion called NNEACCW anymore.
Yeah, thanks for that information. Because I was the one that tipped you them off to you to the ROS. I'm going to tip the cops off to those shows now.
Well, I mean, half the police force in the local area is part of the talent, so they're not really going to do anything. But now the best part is it's when you see one of our signs go up any place to promote our next show, it's where the NNNEACCW. It's the not Northeast Atlantic Coast Championship Wrestling.
Wow. But can we next time we get a big promotion? Can we have it like if we're gonna have to have it in the South? Can it be like the West Coast, not the East Coast again?
I actually at one point thought that maybe Pro Wrestling Guerrilla was going to be picked up by some billionaire and propelled forward.
It may happen at some point, but
I know.
But I do find it hilarious. It's another Southern wrestling company that's there.
That has a Rhodes at the head of it.
Rhodes at the head of it, but that has the chance to rival WWE. And both companies are getting serious on snatching up talent with big name offers.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a rumor of possible people coming over from WWE when their contract come over. Apparently, the Revival is a big name of possibly looking about jumping ship because they have actually put a trademark application in for the hashtag TFP or the TFP. It's on the back of their logos.
FTR. Fuck the Revival.
Something like that because their own trademark, not through WWE, their own trademark on this.
Which would be great if they came over and much like hashtag DIY, they came over and their tag team name was hashtag FTR.
Because and the people are looking at maybe this is their way of trying to lock themselves, get their stuff positioned.
To get fired,
not to
basically.
Get fired, but to say like when their contracts end, they own the copyright for this trademark and go over.
And that's where they're going to
go.
Though
there is someone who could absolutely challenge that trademark, though.
Oh, who would that be?
I believe it's one of the Jackson brothers because they're the ones that originally used it.
Oh, I mean, but if you're going over to All Elite, you know that they'd be like, no, keep it. We want you to have it.
But that's who first used it. So.
Oh yeah, it was like I believe it was Cody was the first one to say it on Being the Elite.
Okay. I'm talking about social media though. Through social media, it was through the.
Oh yeah, no, it's Matt and Nick Jackson were the first ones to use it.
So that looks at that way. And honestly, the Revival, what they were doing in NXT and what they could be doing for the tag division on the main roster, it could be mind-blowing to people who love tag team wrestling, but WWE just refuses. Vince refuses to do anything with them. How dare you get over on your own without my help?
Yeah, even though right now they are kind of set up to maybe capture gold.
Possibly, but I doubt. I don't really care because at this point, to me, if they win the championship, even if they do a build to it, which they probably won't because it's a tag division and Vince doesn't care about the tag team division.
Right.
It's going to be WWE's way of trying to make them happy So they'll re-sign with that, stay there versus because then what? But then guess what? What happens when they re-sign? Oh, you re-signed. We own you now. Fuck it. We don't have to do you anything until you next time you re-sign, and you're locked here.
Exactly.
And we can make you sit home and not do anything for the next 5 years. Um,
I have a feeling that you're going to probably see when it's possible. Zack Ryder, he'll go over the Revival. Probably Rusev.
he mentioned an announcement coming forward eventually at some point.
Because every time he's talked about being unhappy with his position, they've thrown the U.S. belt at him.
Yep.
Or a match for the U.S. belt at him.
I would be interested because he did make this announcement, a life-changing announcement coming soon. So he said, stay tuned." I find it hilarious because as soon as I read that, I'm like, no, I doubt that's him about he's leaving WWE. No, watch, this is not what he means. I don't have any insider information or anything like this. This is just that popped into my head. I want to make that very clear. But watch, it turns out to be that Lana's pregnant.
I was thinking that
was my biggest. That was the first thing that popped in my head. It's just like, big announcement. I don't know when his contract comes up. It's not there. He's using that as a kind of a feat. It couldn't mean that he's planning on doing that in the long run. But there is an actual announcement, and it could be that too. But
you know who else I would like to see come over?
John
Ziggler.
Cena.
Actually, yes.
I'd love to see John Cena make a jump.
Well, John Cena right now it would be perfect for it because he doesn't care. Like this would be him being given the mic even for one night over there. Like he officially retires from the ring, but he's allowed one more night of getting into the ring with AEW, and he's just given the microphone. Can you imagine what kind of shoot promo he could do?
Well,
I mean, even if he's not fired and angry, he could just very slowly through the entire thing just drop truth bombs after truth bomb. And just be like, yeah, Vince McMahon is an a-hole. Triple H, nice guy, kind of has his head up his own ass. The way that he used to do his old promos where he just he'd drop something right on you that you were like, ooh.
Well, see, the one thing I would love to see him go over for the specific reason is he just walks out and John Cena. It's it's John Cena because he can use his real name.
Right.
For that, but also it would just be he can be I never got to do this over in the other place, so I can actually tell you from the bottom of my heart, people, fuck you, and turn heel.
Dude. Okay, so before we went on the air, we talked about when is AEW, because there's going to be parallels between them and WCW for quite some time, just because of the fact that Dusty ran or booked WCW for a long time and was a big influence backstage. And now you got Cody in here with AEW. What if they have their outsiders in NWO mode? What if they do get John Cena to come over?
That'd be hilarious.
Hulk Hogan style. And then next thing you know, they bring in two more talents who, you know who they are, but you don't know why they're there.
Yeah, you said...
And it's Seth I was going to say,
you said Seth and Dean. At one point you said, hey...
they don't mention either person's name. There's no possibility of screwing it up. They're not wearing anything like they normally do. They've cut their hair. They walk a little different because I'm going to be honest, Kevin Nash wasn't doing the Diesel thing.
No, when they first came over, they were both doing their characters because there's a lawsuit that shows that they did.
Oh, Scott did for a long time.
Yes, Scott did, but Kevin Nash was doing it too.
At first, yeah. It was when they got the warning that he really
Oh
stopped.
no, when they WCW got the warning of saying, "Hey, you're using our characters," they didn't stop right away. I think Kevin. That's when Kevin pulled back.
Right.
Scott kept going, but when the lawsuit said, "No, you're may not be saying their name in general, but you're doing all the mannerisms. You're hinting at that. Therefore, you are."
Yeah, it really was Scott Hall that just kept doing the Razor
Yep.
Ramon shtick for a lot longer
Yep.
than he should have. Like that first appearance would have been perfect, and then to leave it there, and then have them come in and be like, "No, my name's
Yes.
Kevin Nash. His name
Yep.
is Scott Hall."
So it would be interesting to see who else will make the jump. I mean, most people are going to probably say this is not going to happen, but let's look at the facts after I say the name. A good person who could possibly absolutely make the jump in the coming months is AJ Styles.
Yeah, there's a good
The
possibility
reason
of that
why,
one. He could
the
be their
reason
Hulk Hogan.
why, not he didn't have to be their Hulk Hogan.
No, but the big name that they basically
Oh
stole
yeah,
from the WWE.
yeah.
Their first
Because
big
the
name.
reason why AJ could make the jump is because he's 42. He clearly wants to wind down on his travel. He has a family he wants to spend time with. They have already announced that All Elite Wrestling are going to have a lighter work schedule. And it's been rumored, actually not really rumored, but it's basically one of his, AJ has been stating that as part of signing with WWE, another contract with WWE, is they're going to have to give him a lighter schedule. That's one of his do or die moments. And
Yeah.
so AEW can do that because they're going to just naturally have a lighter schedule.
Well, yeah, because most of their lighter schedule will be to allow their talent to continue do
Yep.
independent
But
dates.
also, but like, so there's a perk. Money. AEW is giving out money. They're not. I wouldn't say they're not
Right.
doing the WCW thing where they're just throwing all money left and right, which Bischoff did. He just threw.
I
No,
hope
they're
not.
gonna have a reason and a method behind it. They're not gonna make the same mistake of giving people the clause that says if anyone comes in above me, I get elevated to this pay rate. They're not gonna make
No.
that stupid decision. But no, so AJ right there can make just as much money or more money, depending on how much they want him, offer him.
I mean, it could be one of those that they're like, "Hey, you're going to take a minor pay cut. Let's just throwing fake numbers out there. 2018, AJ Styles made $1.3 million. They'd be like, all right, well, we're going to offer you 1.25, but you're going to do less dates.
Yeah, so it's like, but the thing is though, I have a feeling if he went with he was gonna sign, they're gonna request he's gonna be doing for more. Like he's not gonna take a pay cut to go there.
Oh, no. I mean, at the same time, though, one of the other major announcements, and this is also going to be a massive game changer to the industry as a whole, health insurance.
That is not a fact because Tony Khan
They
Tony Khan
announced it.
stated that there's a lot of people who will probably be working office jobs that he can get and give them health care packages. Cody announced that people who work for All Elite Health Care will be taken care of, like they'll be taken care of. But WWE does the exact same thing with their employees in a sense. If you get injured, in
Yeah.
WWE for WWE, they pay for all the medical. The only time that they refused to make take care of the medical that I have heard recently was with Paige in her neck. They said you don't need it, and she says no, I do need it, and they refused to pay for it.
See, the way that I heard it, and judging from Tony's experience through the NFL, I have a feeling that they're going to look at the talent pool and find a way to be able to give them an insurance package.
He's
And go, okay, here's a normal insurance package for it. and you could talk to insurance companies and go, hey, will you insure pro athletes? These guys are the
Yeah,
same level. Their risk
he
of
put
injury
it
is the same.
as like because of there's a bunch of executives who he was there to, and that's how he was looking at. Like there could be a bunch of talent that they are going to assign, like Cody and the Young Bucks, who are wrestlers but are also going to be working in the office. Therefore, he can give them health insurance packages. In the actual wrestlers, I think he'll look to find a way to do it. But like it's
Right.
not official that if you sign with AEW, you're getting health care. But so far, that there's
So
nothing
far.
like this. That's not announced. It's just like they're going to be taking care of the rest. You get hurt in AEW, you're taken care of. You don't have to worry about paying for your health care or that. But WWE has been doing that for years. So, but here's an interesting fact for AJ Styles, and would be a benefit, could be a benefit to AJ, is AJ lives in Georgia.
So it's just a hop, skip, and a jump away.
Yes, he lives Gainesville, Georgia, is where he resides in. So it is. It's
have no idea
northern.
where that
It's almost
is.
on the South Carolina border.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
it's
still
a few
hop,
hours
skip, and a
drive
jump away.
from Jacksonville, but but like still, he'd be closer to home. If he's in town for stuff like that, he has to come to Jacksonville, but it's a hop, skip, and jump. So there's a benefit there. He'd be easily be get home, and if he had to run down to the main office to do something, he could drive down and be back in the same
Yep.
day. Yes, it's a lot of driving in one day, but
It-
get up early enough. Well, you're still home that day to see your kids. So like,
exactly.
not that does this mean he will sign? Who knows? But there's an extra benefit here with saying he could retire working with his friends and having more control
Damn right.
over his product. Though everything I've ever heard is AJ Styles is happy with WWE.
He is. It's probably one of those that he's like, okay, now I
Yep.
only have to travel so much. It's nice for me. I'm able to spend more time with my family. But I think the bonus of being close to the main office of AEW, having people that he knows over there already, and the fact that they're willing to probably give him top dollar for a shorter schedule. Because you know that Chris Jericho is not going to be doing
No.
every single week.
But so, if I had to take a guess here, I would probably say that it's probably a safer bet at this point to say that AJ's probably going to re-sign with WWE. I'm gonna, to me, that's just me right now. But let's just put it this way: he is in a very good position to get everything he wants if he stays with WWE.
Exactly. I mean, at this point, with what AEW is able to put on the table for people and what they've already put on the table for people, it is just going to force WWE to step up their game, no matter on the
One
business
thing
end right away.
WWE is doing, and the people who have done this already, they have their reasons. We don't know anyone specifically who's done this already yet, but WWE has been getting aggressive with their own talent and trying to lock them down. Not just like so they can't go anytime. And this year, no, like I've been hearing people like they've been locking down people into 5-year contracts to ensure they can't go over to AEW.
Wow.
So they're definitely keeping an eye on AEW as an actual competition, which makes sense.
Good.
But like the people who signed those who may have extended their contract for a total of 5 years, they had their reasons. They're probably topper talent who are already being used a lot of time. But who knows? We won't really know until people's contracts and it's announced they signed with AEW for that. And the best thing about AEW is not all the contracts are going to be the same. They are going to be a lot of talent will be exclusive to AEW, but they don't. As Cody said in the press conference, he doesn't want people to be locked to the point where like people like their own like to do their own thing. Like as he put it, as Jericho will be free to do his cruise. And
Yes.
Jericho's mentioned he still wants to work in New Japan. He wants to have a match with the new IWGP champion. Oops, sorry, Adam, I spoiled it for you. Yeah,
The Ace Tanahashi.
for the championship belt. He wants to have a match with that guy. So his country's going to allow for him to do that stuff. And of course, his commitment with Fozzy, his band, is going to. So he has to do that. Have that be written in there. So while there will be talent that will be exclusive to AEW, they're not also going to allow them to have options to do, like Ziggler. He's been doing comedy. So like if he came over, you guarantee he's like I'm not giving up my comedy. So we need to make sure that I'm available to do dates and stuff like that. Like absolutely. So
I think overall the company and the way it's going to be run is going to be a very pro personal life wrestlers. Like everyone's going to be able to continue doing what they want to do outside the ring, as long as it doesn't fully interrupt what their
one
day
of the
job
things that I
is.
think will also be kind of cool because they will have some talent that they will allow to go out to out to the independents because they'll negotiate it. But if you have someone like because Cody says a well-paid wrestler is a happy wrestler, which means the fans are happy. If you have a talent
Exactly.
you've signed to a contract who isn't really happy because they're not necessarily being used that much or liking how they're being used, they can say, okay, well, you still have a contract with us. Even if they're exclusive, they can say, you know what we'll do? We will allow you to go take some dates out on the independents because we're not really using you right now. We don't have a big thing for you. So, you know it's an exclusive contract. You have to confirm all dates with us before you can officially sign to do them. But we'll let you go
Right.
out and go over there because we're not really using you. And then if that guy does enough dates and he gets over there and they're like, oh, we have you. Right now we're going to really start using you. There's a way to make them happy and all that.
Because sometimes. Sorry. Wow, I've been trying to hide that cough for a little bit. No idea what you're talking about. Sometimes people don't get over in front of a certain audience.
So,
And you move them to a different audience and suddenly they get over a whole lot better. So, it could be sometimes all it takes is for someone to get in front of a different audience, start to get over with that audience. Then the at-home audience starts to pay attention. Then it can translate back to another location.
perfect example
or
of
another
that is
company.
Zack Ryder. He got over.
Yes.
Yes, he was a pro wrestler, but he got over because of his YouTube channel.
It was a different
Yes, there were
audience
probably a
that
lot
he
of
got
wrestling
over with.
fans who were watching that, but they were not necessarily the typical WWE fan. But people caught on like, "Oh, dude, you watch WWE? You gotta watch Zack Ryder's YouTube channel." And they watched it like, "Dude, this guy's hilarious.
Yeah.
This guy's great." And that's what we got when we get Madison Square Garden with The Rock in the ring, and people are chanting, "We want we want Ryder." So
Exactly.
yeah, it just kind of goes to show like, for that. But yeah, so it will be interesting. Adam, I don't really have anything else to say.
Outside of absolute enjoyment and excitement and it's a full-on body buzz that I've got going on regarding like the wrestling world right now. I've been glued to Twitter for 2 days.
I just been kind of watching the wrestling and Wrestle Talk stuff like that for anything that I've missed. I've missed a little bit, but not really much.
I am really surprised that due to being able, like, the fact that they made that rally open
Yep.
to all of the fans was brilliant because everyone's able to catch up on the news. And I'm going to be honest. So our last episode, where we kind of talked about what was, the
Yep.
January 1st announcement. That's all it was that we had for news. After Tuesday, the 48-hour checkup on how many plays it's been, we got 59 more hits in 48
Damn.
hours on that one video. Yeah. Hashtag AEW is blowing up Twitter,
basically-
blowing up the universe. That's right. They're
Basically,
bringing down the
anything that
universe.
right now for the wrestling news, if you mention AEW, it's gold. Because
gold.
everyone's like, that's how much people miss the Monday Night Wars. And I'm gonna say, we don't need the Monday Night Wars anymore.
Yeah.
Again, we don't.
There's a complete new generation that has no idea what wrestling world
Yeah.
felt like during that time. Yes, you go back and watch it, and there's a bunch of stuff that does not stand up. But
Yeah.
there was an electric buzz to
And
the
that's the
wrestling
thing. Like,
world.
we don't need the Monday Night Wars again. No, we need
No.
two big companies again. Where
We need the WWE needs
Competition.
domestic competition. Like in the 2000s, I thought TNA was going to be it. It sadly jumped. It flew too close to the sun too quickly, and
because
it came
Dixie Carter
back
saw
down.
the growth they were getting so quickly, and it's like, oh, I want to go after WWE, and
They jumped beyond
if they
what they were
kept the
capable
growth
of
that they
at
were
the time.
going into 2010, because they were going into great growth before the Hogan era. At the end of 2000, before they went, officially took over and took power. If they just kept the growth that they were going before they took over, and it never happened. Right now, Impact or TNA could have been a lot. Could be not necessarily the size of WCW was, but they would be a lot. Could be a lot bigger.
No, but like
And actually been that company for a few years now.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Look at some of the top talent from, I'm going to just throw a year out, 2008 from TNA. Where are a number of that top talent right now? Well, you've got Samoa Joe and AJ Styles
Yep.
in WWE. You've got Frank Kazarian and Christopher Daniels
Yep.
now with AEW. And you have Generation Me, the Young Bucks, taking over the world.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I would not put it past Samoa Joe and AJ Styles
Yeah.
to come over at some point. I mean, I would like to see Finn Balor come over to AEW.
I would too, because they're just not using him.
Yeah, that's the
And
only
here's
reason
the thing:
why.
when I say they're not using him, Vince isn't using him, because Triple H would.
What are we gonna have? Yeah, what's the match this week? Oh, it's Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin. Okay, I'll watch it again. I think I saw it 2 weeks ago.
But yeah, so wrapping this up, it's a great time to be a wrestling fan. As much as people may have thought Ring of Honor should be the big brand to challenge WWE, they're growing, but they're never gonna grow at the rate a big enough a rate to get to be a competition for WWE for at least 20 years.
Yeah, I kind of like them being the third party that's out there that you go, no, you go there
because,
to get your name.
And there's not a problem with it. It's a good thing that the Ring of Honor is doing that, because it could be very easy that they say, like, no, we want to be that competition for WWE. We're gonna jump the fucking gun like TNA did and then all of a sudden they're
Right.
back in the situation they were before Sinclair Network picked them up, and the company was about to go broke, go bankrupt, and close. So yeah, so it's just one of those things where it's just like, no, let them grow, because if they keep growing at the rate they're growing, eventually they will be a bigger name in wrestling. But they're a great place for people to go. If you get recognized on the independent scene that Ring of Honor wants to bring you in, that means they see something in you and they can progress that.
So if we are kind of looking like we're moving into a generation where the Monday Night Wars is kind of happening again, you've got WWE, AEW. Does that mean that Ring of Honor is taking the ECW
It
place?
technically could be. Though I think AEW's logo looks more like
They're
ECW.
they're the quiet little.
Yeah,
I mean, ECW wasn't
though,
quiet.
Logo and AEW's logo looks a little bit more similar.
Oh yeah, no. But
Oh, I
I'm
know.
talking their
I know.
in the metaphorical place, where ECW was the catalyst to change the actual in-ring style of wrestling that was going on. Ring of Honor so far has been the catalyst
Yep.
for this change of in-ring style. And then you just have the two big boys that are going, hey, we're the ones who are we're the more mainstream. So we bring you kind of the slightly more vanilla version
So
of
that's my
what Ring of
biggest
Honor is
worry
doing.
is that AEW may not make enough of a change to be as mainstream as WWE is, which is a good thing and a bad
Oh,
thing,
no.
because if
But
they don't make enough of a mainstream push, then they're not gonna be true money wise competition, but not actually knowledge wise. But
I mean, it could also be that maybe the world of wrestling has been clamoring for
oh yeah,
less vanilla for so much that this will be the catalyst that will propel AEW forward and force
oh yeah,
WWE
oh no,
to
I have no
change
doubt
their
that
game.
AEW is gonna force WWE to change their game. They're already forcing them to lock down talent that they already have, get more aggressive with talent.
Exactly.
They want to sign. So it's a good time to be in the business. It'll be definitely interesting to see how this goes about. But yeah, we're still a few months away before their AEW's first show. Though there is one last thing I do want to say
Exactly.
before we close out, because they also made one more announcement
Oh,
that we haven't covered yet. That there'll be.
what was that?
They announced
Forgot
that
that one. What did we miss?
Double or Nothing isn't their second show. Their second show is going to be right here in
No?
Jacksonville, where half part of the gate is going to go to gun violence. They didn't say a date.
What
There's
was
no
that?
date.
June? Oh no, yeah, but they announced that it's
Yep.
definitely Jacksonville is where it's going to be at, but they don't have a name for it.
But it's
They
going
don't
to
have a venue,
be
and
in
they don't have a
Jacksonville,
date.
and the part of the gate is going to go to gun violence victims, which is I thought was really cool. A great statement right there, especially for this state.
Like right away, they're like, no, it's our second show that we're ever doing. Well, the third show we've ever done, we've ever done, and we're giving a portion
Yeah.
of the gate to charity.
That was cool, especially in this state after what they've seen last year. For all that, so that's really good.
Yeah.
And I got nothing else to talk about for All Elite.
That's all I've got as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to turn it over
There's
to
one
Tim so we can
one
close
more
out
thing
the
that we
show.
do have to talk that's not All Elite though.
Oh, for crying
I
out
gotta
loud.
sneak some WWE news.
What's
in.
that?
Oh no! I just have to point
Damn
out
it.
that because
What?
I'm so happy that this is actually happening. It's because Becky Lynch is sticking with her jean shorts and t-shirt like ring gear that she wrestled with last week on SmackDown because it looks so much better than her leotard ring gear that she had been wrestling with. She just looks more like a badass.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She looks like
Yes.
Stone Cold Becky Lynch.
Fits the attitude so much better than what her other ring gear worked.
She needs to start driving a truck to the stadium every week.
And she's Irish, so she should be drinking beer. Not any beer.
Exactly.
Guinness.
Exactly.
She's gotta be drinking Guinness.
No one will notice it.
No
one will notice
at all.
the parallels.
But
at all.
no, like it will.
They finally get Michael Cole on the mic. There's a shatter of glass, and Becky Lynch shows up, and he's like, "By God, it's Becky Lynch!"
Thing if she wanted to, like in Texas, if they were in Texas, they did the whole, and everyone's like, "Yeah!" Even Austin's music plays, and then Becky Lynch walked out
Becky Lynch.
on it. It's just like people are like, "Wait, that's not Stone Cold. Oh, that's Becky Lynch. Yeah, Stone Cold Becky Lynch."
There's the pop for the glass shatter, the quick pause as it's revealed that it's actually Becky Lynch,
Yeah, it's like,
and the mega pop that follows it.
Because that would be hilarious.
All right.
Because though I was not happy
All right.
that she's the one that's facing Asuka at the Royal Rumble. This better not mean that they've decided to go with Charlotte at WrestleMania versus Becky. Because if it is, I'm gonna be pissed. But we'll see.
Whatever.
We'll find out.
Whatever.
When WrestleMania
big
time
deal.
comes around, we'll find out, and then if it turns out to be true, then I'll get to bitch a lot. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard us talk for an hour and 11 minutes. You're clearly liking what we're talking about and hearing. Scroll on down and give us a thumbs up. You're clearly liking what we're talking about. On your way down to commenting about AEW and what your thoughts on what you've heard from us, anything you've heard, comment down there. Let us know what you want from AEW specifically in the comments. And on your way, because you have to go scroll down to do that, like again, give us that thumbs up. Before you can do the comment, though, make sure you subscribe. That's your part, Adam. Ring the bell.
Ding.
And join
ding.
the fun. No, just join the fun, not join in. That's dumb. Dude, stop messing with the tagline. It's but anyways, ladies and gentlemen,
I'm sorry. I don't have a
join the
marketing
fun.
background.
And be sure to check back in next week for more wrestling news. We'll be talking about Wrestle Kingdom 13 because Adam has not watched the show yet.
Yes. No, I had a
you know what I find
week.
hilarious about this?
Okay.
Just so you know, 2 years ago, you were nagging me for not because I kept saying I was going to watch it, and it took me forever to watch it. Yeah, and now
it took you a
2
month.
years later, I watched it the day of, and you still haven't. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen,
Fair
have
point.
a good night.
Okay.
And Adam,